Hello everybody! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is getting close to the end of the year, and so I have some very exciting news. I hope you're gonna love this, and I'm gonna just try to get through everything really smoothly today, keep it nice and light, and let's just jump straight in because I can't wait to tell you. Right, so January 1st, 2026, start of the year, we are gonna start a whole new era, a whole new chapter on this channel where I'm bringing the Daily Language Diary back for season 2, and we're gonna have a video every day in January. And these are gonna be very short and simple videos potentially. Maybe some of them will be a little bit longer and more interesting, but my main focus is gonna be just to be here every day sharing little bits of my language learning journey along with a couple of other things. It's gonna have a really cool format. And I just want to be here every day hanging out with you guys. Now, in case you are not familiar, I did this already back in 2020. So in May 2020, I did my first season of the Daily Language Diary. And it was honestly the most popular thing I've ever done on my channel. And it was so fun. So many people made that part of their daily routine. It was just so lovely and so wholesome. I would just share different language learning topics that were coming up in my daily learning, and I would also answer questions from the comments. And yeah, like people just knew there would always be a video here every single day. And it was like just a really beautiful time. And I think that really helped create so much momentum here on my channel. And it really set the stage for the rest of that year as I then went on to continue making content really consistently. So I really want to try to do that again. So many people have asked me to do it since 2020, and even on Patreon, where I have been sharing pretty intimate, pretty personal diaries this entire time, all these years. A lot of people have specifically said that they also felt like I looked really happy, during that period when I was doing the diary. And the other thing is, I'm going to give you a quick update on my life here, but I'm going to keep it nice and short. Don't worry, it's not going to be a therapy session. I'll just tell you that I have recently gotten out of a relationship that I was in all of this year. And as part of that relationship, I had kind of paused all of my language learning plans in order to study Cantonese because my now ex-partner was from Hong Kong. And so I really wanted to do that. As part of just being dedicated to learning more about her and her culture, and also, as a long-term dedication to being able to communicate in her mother tongue and these kind of things. I'm sure you're all very aware of the reasons why we do these things, right? So yeah, I'll just very quickly say, out of respect for her, and I also don't want to overshare or make you uncomfortable, I will just say that this year has been extremely difficult for me, and a lot of that did come from, I think, just there being a huge mismatch in expectations for life. And some of those primarily include what I do for work, doing creative work, making YouTube videos, and pursuing a career in animation and illustration, and me earning very little money. I do not have a very good income at all. And yeah, I think, unfortunately, that created just a huge amount of conflict and stress, and I would say shame for me. I have spent most of this year feeling very ashamed about what I do, and I think that has been growing. And so I'll just say that that has made it really hard to make things. And I think that's probably the primary reason why I still had a lot of trouble being consistent on YouTube this year. I think I've made a lot of stuff. We've made some really nice videos. I got to experiment a ton. I got to experiment with much higher production videos and more travel-based content, like the one in Amsterdam that I did. And I also finally found a format that works beautifully for me here on YouTube right now in October, when I made 4 videos in 4 weeks. And honestly, the last 3 videos I did, they are some of my favorite videos I've ever made. especially the one where I showed you my commute to work and how I learn languages on the go, and the one where I talked about, you know, learning other skills through our languages that we've studied. And I showed you my love for autumn, and it was just such a fun video. And I feel like in those pieces, I just got to share all of my joy while still talking about language learning. And I also got to share my art journey with you in a way that really felt cohesive, and it felt like it worked. And so that was a really special moment on my journey this year. So while I didn't get to create as consistently as I hoped, and I know that might have been frustrating for you here on YouTube and Patreon, I still think I learned a ton. I learned a lot about myself, and I was once again able to really focus in on growing my skills, where although I wasn't able to create a lot of, you know, videos here on YouTube, I did still manage to invest a huge amount of time in improving my animation, my drawing, my illustration skills, general storytelling skills, and like I said, discovering a format that works here on YouTube. So it is very sad, of course, that now that relationship is over, but I think looking forward to the future, trying to grow and learn from this, I guess one of the positive things I can now take and try to use for good is I will, of course, now have a lot more time alone, but I think also I can hopefully stop feeling ashamed of who I am and what I do for work and the dreams that I have for my life. And they're really quite simple. And yeah, so one of the main things I want to focus on in this new year is making lots of really beautiful videos here on YouTube and making lots of wonderful vlogs on Patreon. I just want to focus on putting joy into the world and growing and nurturing that sense of community that I think is still here, but I think was once a lot greater on my YouTube channel. I really want to focus on nourishing that back to full health and bigger and better than ever before. And I also want to really continue just growing my drawing, illustration, and animation skills, building a portfolio, and continuing to grow there. So I have a couple of really exciting updates related to that, but I do want to first make sure I give you all the information about the daily language diary. So I gave you all that context just now, like a bit of a life update, just because I want you to understand, you know, where I'm coming from and why I am so excited to now do something so big like this daily language diary. Because yeah, like I said, you may have wondered, like, how are you going to possibly manage to do that if you have had such a hard time being consistent this year on YouTube? So now you know, my life is going to be very different going into the new year. So what's going to happen? Starting on January 1st, I will be documenting myself learning a language. And what I really want to focus on in 2026 for language learning is I want to finally just enjoy the languages that I've already learned. You know, the languages that I have so much love for, so many beautiful memories and feelings and emotions with, and languages that I've been just waiting so patiently to get back to. And so I've chosen 3 options: French, Spanish, and Italian. These are 3 languages, all that I think I've spoken to pretty high levels of fluency in the past. French in particular was really, really at a high level, but even Spanish and Italian, I think we're also quite strong. But I would say all of them are now pretty rusty, and especially Spanish and Italian, they are probably, you know, the most rusty. But I feel so excited about how much I can bring them back, you know, and I feel so excited about starting a new little chapter with one of those languages. And honestly, I would be equally excited about all 3. So I put a poll on my Patreon page. It's totally free, and I'm allowing people to vote on which language they would like to see me get back to in January this year. So I'm going to have a link in the description to that specific post with the poll. I would love for you all to vote. so I can know like overall, you know, what is the feeling out there? Like, what are you most excited about? So there'll be a video every single day in January. They're going to be pretty simple. You know, I want to make sure that these are pretty light for me to create and produce. But I'm going to try my best to prepare as much as possible. So I'm going to be working on a really lovely little title animation, all hand drawn, hopefully some character animation in there that will be at the start of each video. I'm going to try to prepare like a simple thumbnail template, things like that. And the content will be partially me sharing my little daily journey, like getting back into one of these languages. That might be some language progress. I might speak in that language and show you how I'm doing. That might just be sharing some beautiful little things that happened that day, or something that just was up top of my mind about language learning. And just like last time in season 1, I may also answer some comments, some questions from the comments, because I really want this to be as interactive as possible. In addition to the language portion, which will be like 80% of the videos, I'm also going to share like a little gratitude piece. So I'm just going to just take a moment to think of something I'm grateful for that day. And finally, I'm going to try my best to see if I can share one little drawing each day. And I'll try to even like make them related to the language I'm learning. And that's going to be it. So it's going to be primarily all language learning. But you know, my art journey is such a huge part of my life right now, and I want to share that with you. And as part of my sort of healing process from this year, because it really, I do feel quite broken down right now. I do want to put a huge emphasis on being grateful. And so I thought that was just a nice thing that I could share with you. And my hope is that we can start the new year together in a really wholesome, positive way. And I hope I can just really build back a ton of momentum here on YouTube. And like I said, kind of nourish that community feeling that we've had in the past, like really back to full health. And then I hope to just, you know, launch forward into the rest of the year, making videos once a week, very consistently, building on that momentum. Now, I got a couple of really quick updates, but these are really special and exciting. First one, my Patreon page, I have decided to make all new content free until the end of January. So any vlogs that I make, I might try to do a podcast episode, but I'm not promising anything. And any diaries, everything I do from here until the end of January is going to be free for everybody. This is not a secret trick. There's no catch. I'm not trying to sell you something. This is purely because, you know, I made a lot of things this year on Patreon in particular, but I still don't think I fulfilled my promise. You know, I wanted to make a lot more vlogs. I wanted to bring back the podcast. So there's a lot of people who supported me on Patreon this year, and I don't think they really got their full money's worth. And some of those people have left, which is completely understandable. And so I just want to make sure that those people get what they paid for, you know? And so I want to try to make some really beautiful content, and I want to make sure that everybody can enjoy it, so that hopefully everyone feels made whole, you know? I don't want to feel like I took people's money and their support and didn't really give them what I promised. So that's the primary reason for doing this. And I feel like if that also means that all of you can come and hang out with me and enjoy my vlogs and anything I make on Patreon, then that's wonderful. So I think what a beautiful way to start the year, right? A daily language diary back here on YouTube, along with like everybody, if you want, can come and enjoy my Patreon content as well. I just think it's beautiful. So that's the first little extra update. Update number 2. If you remember back in October when I made my first video of the 4 in a row, I actually shared I had this little dream of one day doing Christmas cards, and I made 2 Christmas cards and they're actually on sale in a real cafe. Now, you know, it's not quite what I imagined. Like I really hope to have one day like language learning themed Christmas cards, you know, here on YouTube. I thought that would be so lovely, and I would love to make like a calendar and all kinds of things, but I never imagined it would happen this year. And so yeah, basically, I ended up getting the opportunity to illustrate Christmas cards for the cafe where I'm now working. I'm having trouble surviving here in London, and so I'm working at a cafe, and I'm really trying to make the most of it. And so I've been really enjoying just trying to make people's day. Like the same joy that I try to bring here on YouTube, I'm trying to bring to like every single customer at the cafe. And I've gotten to know some amazing people. And so this Christmas card, which took me like a whole month to design, first of all, that's where I work. It's a beautiful cafe here in London, and every single character here is based on a real customer, except for this guy, the baker. That's actually my character Sunny. If you've seen my test animation shots for my future web series called A Warm Winter. But yeah, almost everyone here is actually a real customer at the cafe, and even the pets, the animals, they are actually real pets that belong to beloved customers of the cafe. So this took me so long. I mean, it's so complex, all the different colors, I completed 2 different illustration classes while I was working on this, just to sort of learn how to do this. I've never printed stationery or cards. Look at this. Oh. So that was one. And the second one, oh God, I dropped it. Second one was this one. Much simpler design, but I just thought this was lovely. Have yourself a bready little Christmas. Yeah. I actually had 6 concepts and they were all themed after bread. And also some of them were like dog and cat themed. But unfortunately, I only managed to make 2 before the deadline because we had to get these ready before December, for obvious reasons. Christmas is kind of limited for time. But I did it. And so to me, this is such exciting news because imagine for next Christmas now, like, oh my God, we are going to have a whole collection of language learning themed Christmas cards. We're going to have a language themed calendar. I'm going to have a whole set of products ready for next Christmas. And I know I can do it now because I've done it. And for this one, I actually made a poster. So this was designed on a really huge canvas. So I actually have like A3 size posters. I did hope to sell these on my Patreon shop or something. I just don't have the infrastructure in place and it's already December 15th. So yeah, I'm not trying to sell you anything here. I just wanted to share that joy. And my final exciting update for you that I wanted to share is I can't believe this. I don't know how this happened, but I've ended up winning a fully funded scholarship to a really awesome illustration program, which is 9 months long, starting at the end of January. So I think the timing is perfect because we can start the year with this beautiful language diary series. And I'm going to be putting a ton of time still into illustration and animation. And I look forward to including lots of little animations in the videos, but I promise they will be, they will support the video. They're not going to just be about animation. I'm just going to try to start including more and more little bits of super cozy hand-drawn animation into my videos, and we'll just see how it goes. But yeah, I can do the language diary. And then at the end of that month, I'm starting a 9-month illustration bootcamp that's so cool. Oh my God. But it's only 5 hours a week. So I'm still gonna have plenty of time to do YouTube videos after that and to continue my studies. I've got a few other, it's just gonna be an amazing year. So I'm gonna end this video here, but, oh, Jesus, I almost fell. I just wanna say thank you. Thank you for being patient with me this year. I know that it's been pretty up and down, and it's been really difficult for me not being able to tell you the full story. Part of that is because obviously it's very personal and private, and I don't know how much you want to hear, and I also want to respect people in my personal life. It's just a difficult kind of thing to talk about, but it's been hard because obviously for you, you just see me struggling still to really truly be consistent here on YouTube. And it's felt like I don't know. I'm not sure if any of you have ever experienced that, where you have to live in a situation where you feel shame and you feel just this like constant disappointment of not being able to meet someone's expectations, right? And it doesn't feel good, especially for me, because I get joy in my life from giving others joy. That is my greatest source of happiness. And maybe that's a weakness, because I could imagine a few arguments why that's not a good way to live, but that's how I am. Like when I make a YouTube video and you all watch it and I get to see your reaction, and especially if I get to see that it brought you joy and hopefully something valuable to your day, I'm the happiest person alive, and the same thing goes for my personal life. So when I go to the coffee shop where I work and I just get to make people's day, and I get to try to be the absolute best barista that I can possibly be, and when I get the feedback that people really had a good time, again, that makes me so, so happy. And so, of course, like the greatest place that this is true is, of course, like in a personal relationship, right? And so it makes me really sad, if I'm not able to be the person somebody wants me to be. And so this year, that really has impacted my ability to create stuff. And so, like I said, it is sad, but I'm so grateful for all of you. Thank you for sticking around. Thanks for being here. I hope this felt like a nice video. I didn't want this to feel like just a giant therapy session. I just wanted you to know the updates. But I am so determined 2026 is going to be a truly magical year. And I want to be a part of that for you. I want to be just like somebody who makes your days better. I want to be someone you can count on for wholesome, beautiful, joyful content. And so I just want to be here present, making stuff for you. So let's do this. I hope you all have a great rest of your year. I'll be on Patreon making vlogs as much as I can for the rest of the year. I'm probably going to make a Christmas Day vlog as well, since I'll be here in my flat. And I'll try to make it cozy and nice. And all that is going to be free. So please just go and sign up for free as a free member. It's in the description. Please vote on my poll about which language I'm going to learn during the daily diary. And just please be involved. Just hang out with me. It will make me really happy, especially this Christmas. So love you all, and I'll see you soon.